All right, Akim, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, let's give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the sincere Akim and Aqua that may listen. May the blessing of election be upon your house. My name is Brother Okwai, and back in here with another quick and Lord's will as always, an edifying lesson. And for today, I just wanted to go through this quick article that I came across. And I also wanted to just add in my 2 cents to it, as seeing an elder out in Las Vegas doing his response to this, right? So the title I have on the screen here, it says, "Is this your representation?" Right? So just to drive home the point, I'm just going to open up the article here so you can get an idea of what I'm saying. So here it says, Megan Thee Stallion twerks for the vote for Harris in Atlanta. We're about to make history. Okay, so it's like here, just 1 second. So it says the 3-time Grammy winner was there to perform the Vice President Kamala Harris' first campaign rally in the city as the presumptive Democratic nominee. Naturally, Megan wore a bright blue pantsuit fit for a hottie, complete cropped blazer with a button-down shirt, skin-tight bottoms, and a necktie to match. Took care to censor her tracks and keeping the twerking modest as she and the crew of dancers burst into the Girls in the Hood, her 2020 flip of an Eazy-E classic, right? So I guess that's where they draw the line, right? The cursing, the swearing. So I'm just going to play this clip here. All right, so, this is how they're trying to use our people to essentially deceive the rest of our people, right? And this is what they always do. It's not the same. It's not a new tactic. The tactic is that, okay, let's put one of our people, who's able to, garner the attention of the mass of you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, right? And you speckled bird Israelites. This is the tactic of the enemy. And this is why one of the reasons our people get swallowed up and get taken over by the enemy, because not only do they not know who they are as a people, but because they don't know how their enemy fights, right? So imagine you're an Israelite and you're in a boxing match, and you have all these heathens in front of you, like it describes them in Psalms 83. One of the reasons, our people get essentially knocked out in the face, they get punched in the gut, they get a rib shot, or all these different body shots like boxers do in a boxing match. One of the reasons our people get taken over, it's because, one, they don't have an understanding of who they are, and they don't have an understanding of how their enemy fights, right? So once you know who you are as a people, then you'll understand, okay, you have enemies. Oh, this is how my enemy fights. But because our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, they don't take on the covering of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. They take on the covering of, essentially this society, and they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to fight off the enemies. As a matter of fact, they don't even know and believe that they have enemies, right? So this is about actually becoming illuminated, essentially in the right-hand side, to be able to fight off these different wiles of the devil that the devil's putting out here, right? Because easily if you really think of it, they can use our own people to essentially push the MOTB. And this is just something I'm thinking about, recently, that this is a possibility the devil can do. This is what Esau can do, right? So let me get a couple scriptures. Let me just get this first one. Okay, Jeremiah 2 verse 21, and it says, "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, a holy and right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?" Right? And this is not really too much going into the point I was making earlier, but this is more going into the type of performance, and this is what our people are known for, right? So you see here, she's trying to keep the so-called twerking at a minimum. This is the standard of our people. It's twerking. The women are twerking. The men are sagging their pants. The men are gangsters. The women are HOES. This is the standard of us as a people. So essentially, because we discontinued from our heritage, we've become degenerates and learning the ways of the heathen. This is what these heathens know us for, right? And this is what they think of us. They don't think of us in especially a respectable manner, because we don't have respect unto the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai. We are a very degenerate nation, and this is the vibration that we push, right? We're a laughing stock. As a matter of fact, it says that in Sirach, to keep a sure watch over a daughter, so to speak, right? We're a nation of because it also says in Jeremiah that that I've likened Jerusalem into a beautiful and comely woman, to roughly paraphrase. We're a woman as a nation. We're a woman that is playing a hoe, right? And this is the vibration of our nation. Look at this behavior, right? Twerking. This is the attention that we use, and this is what we do to essentially, this is what they do essentially to pander to you Israelites, right? So let me get another one. I was just, before I forget. Okay, this is Baruch chapter 4 verse 1, and it says, "This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob," so not everybody, right? So it says, "Take hold of it and walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated," right? So this is why I wanted to bring out to illustrate the point I was making earlier in regards to being illuminated, being enlightened on the right hand side, right? And this is how Jay gets taken, because they don't actually see the deceptiveness that's going on in this video. That, like, let's think about, for example, when was the last time when we have heard about Kamala Harris in the last 4 years? When you really just think about it, all of a sudden now she's in the forefront of the Democratic Party, and she's being endorsed by all these different celebrities and the former President Barack Obama and so on and so forth. You have not heard about a thing from this woman, right? She disappeared in the last 4 years. You're a sleepy, cotton-eyed, one-sided eye, forget the name, so-called President Joe Biden. He was at the forefront, right? And he was a screwed up individual who is he's also misleading you people. They're all misleading you people, right? So this is part of understanding that you Israelites need to become illuminated, and we understand that you have enemies, right? So let me get what's that in? That's Sirach, because Sirach says, never to trust thine enemy. Okay. It says, one second. Okay, Sirach 12, verse 13. I'm going to jump down to verse 16. And it says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten by a serpent? With a serpent, excuse me. Or any such as come nigh wild beasts. So, when you really think of it, why would you pick up a serpent, right? It's a serpent for a reason, because a serpent bites. But our people, essentially, they dilly-dally with the serpent and thinking it's not going to bite you. And they're shocked when it does bite them. Verse 16, it says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if you find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood, right? So this is the motive of the enemy, is to get rid of you Israelites, through the different unrighteous decrees, and they understand that it's very easy to essentially pander to you, because you Israelites are cheap. You're cheap in your understanding, because we've departed from our power. We get taken over by the enemies very easily. A couple of years ago, when we had that thing that came out in the during the demic, there was a rapper. I think his name was Juvenile, if I'm not mistaken. He made this song called, that thing, VAX that thing up, so to speak, right? And this is a tactic the devil always uses to essentially knock out, give you that rib shot, give you that gut shot, because you Israelites don't know how to fight. In the spirit, I'm talking about. You Israelites don't know how to fight off your own enemies. They understand how to sell to you. They understand that if you continue to essentially transgress against the Heavenly Father, it keeps the Heavenly Father away from protecting you. They understand that. But you Israelites don't want to take on the covering of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? So this is why as a nation, we get easily devoured. And this is what Kamala Harris and these different elites are doing, because our people don't see what's going on in the background. They don't see the bigger picture of what's going on here. But, they get somebody like Megan Thee Stallion, they get a Cardi B, they get a Jay-Z, they make them speak some slang, some hood slang. They talk about some Jordans. They talk about, oxtail gravy and rice and peas or whatever it is. They realize they can get you Israelites to get your own vote, right? Get your support, right? And then the next couple of years, they forget about you. They toss you aside, right? As a matter of fact, let me get let me go to the NLT on this. Just bear with me. 15. Jeremiah 15, verse 5, and it says, in the KJV it says, for who shall pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? In NLT it says, who will feel sorry for you, Jerusalem? Who will weep for you? Who will even bother to ask how you are? And that's right, and it's true. When you really think of it, you Israelites always get used to pander, to essentially support the different initiatives that Esau is always putting out, whichever president is running for president. And then when it comes to situation on the global stage, then you get tossed aside. You never hear, like, for example, here in Canada, when the Trudeau was running, he propped up, yes, I want to go look for the missing Aboriginal women and all this kind of stuff, and then they get into office and they forget about you. They forget about your causes. They forget about the not the calamities, so to speak, but they forget about your afflictions in your so-called neighborhoods, in your reservations, the things that are going on in your surroundings. They forget about you. None of these nations bemoan you. They think, oh, this is going to cost too much money. I saw a story on the news recently how, there's been so many bodies of these missing Aboriginal women coming up, for example, and the government thought, man, this is going to cost us too much taxpayer money. They're not going to invest into this, right? But they have money to send to Ukraine. They have money to send to that crybaby state Israel. They have money to send to all these different initiatives. But you people, you Israelites, always get tossed on the back burner. No one cares about you. Really, actually, as a matter of fact, Yahweh B'Shem Shai cares about you Israelites when you really think of it, because he sends the servants, his prophets, to come back to the Lord so you can get understanding, right? That's really a sign of mercy when you really think of it. Seeing the prophets on the highways and byways for years, starting with our apostles and elders on down, that is really that mercy, the Lord extending his hand, right? But a lot of our people are not going to hearken onto that message. So, let me get... I sometimes bring this out often. Where is it? Okay, Judith chapter 5, verse 17, and it says, while they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because the Most High Yahweh, that hateth iniquity that was with them, But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and they were led captives in the land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and the cities were taken by the enemies. But now they returned to their power, and they are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. For therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against his people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be in their ruin. Let us go up, and we shall overcome them. So this is the nations understanding that if the Israelites sinned against their power, then we'll be able to overcome them, we'll be able to overtake them. And these other nations understand that, okay, we're going to use one of your own people to deceive the rest of you, to get you to transgress, right? So these other nations, this is them being illuminated, understanding who you are. But you Israelites, because you don't understand who you are, you get overtaken by the heathens. They understand how to sell to you, how to get you to transgress, how to do this, that, and the third. And that, what does that do? It ultimately keeps you away from Yahweh B'Shem Shai, right? And understanding that you have enemies is also part of you becoming illuminated, right? So you know how to, quench these fiery darts, so to speak, to know how to dodge these punches, these jabs, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, I didn't want to make the lesson too long, but hopefully this video was edifying. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Till next time, I say Shalom.